Alright. Today, I'm not sure if my audio's any better than it has been for the last few days. But today, I'm gonna start using this channel for what I kind of wanted to in the first place, but I didn't actually have a good medium for it to, describe, alternate history scenarios I've created to, you know, honestly give my take on what I would do with the world if, wow, I brought the wrong equipment for a trivial. I brought like the equipment I would bring with me on an extreme mission or something. Okay. Well, alright. But you know what? There probably is still super credits in here. I bet there isn't. There was! I had faith. Today's Sabbath, so that works out. But alright, I'll honestly just pull up. I had notes. Okay, yeah. So America was supposed to be buddy bunker. America was supposed to be a union of states that were relatively autonomous, that were represented in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, and that would have jurisdiction over really most things within their states. It was originally for the first, like, I think 40 years, people would still say, the United States are instead of the United States is, right? Um, it, it was truly a union of different subcultures that made up the American identity, and I feel like other other Utahists would agree. And when I say Utahists, I mean specifically people in the Monsieur Z community, and I might literally post this to their Discord just for the extra views, just so that people can hear my opinion. But oh, cool. Good move. I really wish I brought some other kind of only metals. All right, you know what though? I do need metals. I'm low on metals. I'm currently going through the like winter thingamabob. I forgot what it was called. The frost something something. The one with the purifier and the tenderizer and the pummeler. That one. You can now. But I'm sorry. I've had crazy insomnia for the last few days. Please got me some, like, a little bit of just whatever little respect for you, for me, or yourself that you might have at this point. And I know I keep getting sidetracked, just keep listening. But, okay. I love this rifle so much. Alright, so I propose that states be redrawn on Utah's borders. I do think that not only do they seem to work pretty well, I mean, it's not like they've been proven to work very well, but they were drawn by people more educated than I am. And genuinely, based on the descriptions of why these states were drawn the way they were, why certain states were removed and certain states were added, I do genuinely believe that, oh cool, that it would work. That it would work at least better than this current system we have. And I think an area where I disagree with super credits, an area where I disagree with Monsieur Z, at least from what I can tell, he might agree with me on this, is that I believe in a form of confederalism. I don't believe that the states should have more rights than the federal government. I believe that's weak. But I do believe 100 super credits? That's insane. Crazy. I haven't gotten one of those before. I was doing a trivial with some guy who sounded like Boomhauer one day. And that's the only time I've gotten one of those. I didn't... That's cool. Yeah. But I think the states should, like, first we need to redraw state borders, obviously. I don't think we should confederalize with the state borders we currently have. But we should, even if we, wow, alright. But even if we don't confederalize, I still do think these state borders would be better. Utah's state borders, genuinely, at least to me, seem to make a lot of sense, and they do follow pretty respect. Honestly, wow, I can't talk today. I'm sorry. I know I know I'm making like my first video where you can actually hear me. Maybe. I don't know. But oh no. I really don't know if you can hear me, but I guess we'll see, huh? But I do have this written down. I can just read out of my phone. So, this would greatly improve, blah, 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 blah. It would allow for the representation of marginalized communities in the country where they have had their voices spoken over for decades. From the point onward that these states would be established into now autonomous states. Oh no. What was I thinking? Why did I think I could just do that? To concede and grab territory from one another, as well as having states completely abolished as religious and ethnic lines shift. So, if a lot of people from a certain culture group in the United States suddenly live in a certain area of a state where that culture group, where a previous culture group no longer really exists in the majority, then state borders can shift so that a state that does represent that group of people can have, allow those people to represent themselves. Or if they're too marginalized, they can be one of the many autonomous communities that I'll later get to. But, alright. They would also, have, more control over their market. So the state economy would, oh right, taxes. I never wrote down how I thought taxes should work. Remember, I'm a child, or I'm legally a child. And yes, I am a child. I don't pay taxes. I wouldn't know how this shit works. This is just an idea I had as someone who is just now studying to get their driver's license. I am young, okay, I don't know this, but I think a better system for confederalized tax is that the federal government has no tax on its citizens, but it has a minimum amount of money that, perhaps a tithing that, the states have to pay to the federal government. So, the states control their taxes and stuff like that. Like, there would be no such thing as, what am I even talking about? Wow, I can't, I'm sorry guys, I can't keep up with myself. So yeah, they would be able to even declare trade wars on each other, honestly, just because, while in the short term, this is a terrible thing. In the long term, it does become better for society as a whole, as every state would begin to be able to produce, like, they would have sizable industries and agricultural industries. Wow, I should have written more of this down before I came out here talking. But oh right, and so you'll have states like, honestly, I don't like the name Westlvania. Westlvania is where I would live in the Utah's map. I prefer that it would just be called Appalachia or the Blue Ridge State. Just because I honestly do think that's a way better characterization for it. Like, it has a little bit of Pennsylvania in it, from what I could tell. Not enough to really tell me that they needed, wow, I missed that. But, I don't think it should be called Westvania. It should just be called Appalachia. It has more of the area that I'm from than it does anywhere else. And also, local here, draw the borders around Charlottesville, please. I'm actually haven't looked very closely. I'm pretty sure Charlottesville would be in Westvania, or Appalachia as I would prefer to call it. But really, if that's the only border gripe I have. I haven't looked closely enough, but based on my estimation of where I would be in it, Charlottesville is definitely in it. And yeah, I don't want that city in my state anymore. They've spoken over my damn voice for too long. But I'm sure people my age and older remember what the hell happened in Charlottesville just a few years back. Not a few years, it was a while back, but still. I digress. But states like Appalachia likely wouldn't really be able to pay for themselves very well. So I'd propose a commonwealth system between states, and these commonwealths would actually be able to have representation in government, as the commonwealth system itself would be made up of state senators and governors. And this governing body would be able to not only vote on internal issues, but also vote on a representative who would appear in Congress for the Commonwealth. So you would have, say, I guess, the Hyper-Virginian Commonwealth expanding across Appalachia, Virginia, the Kentucky area, that kind of thing. My mic is in my controller, so if, like, I become louder or quieter, that's why. Don't blame me. I know the production value is insane. But I don't care. I got a job 6 months ago at a Walmart, so that should probably like pay for like some of this. Or YouTube can monetize me. I don't care. Do whatever. But holy wow, I just completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. System would allow for further representation in government, would be made up of governors and senators. I've already said that. Oh, right. Here's where my little can't really drive yet opinion probably comes out. I think it's a good thing, but it probably isn't, knowing what I know about kids my age being wrong about things like this. Just hear me out, think about it for a little bit. It might make sense. But just gonna read this word for word. States would have the freedom to create their own militaries.
The hour of our next victory rapidly approaches.
In order to have a rapid response force in numerous worst-case scenarios and the very bad scenario where the government I propose here becomes tyrannical. So the states would have to oppose it. Or an issue like slavery comes up again, and my people rebel like the bullshitters they are. I don't always like being from the South. Well, my family's Southern. I'm not Southern. I live in Yankee, Virginia, which was a Confederate state, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but still.
Allied destroyer
Look, my family who lives in the South doesn't consider it Southern. I think it's like... Oh. Good.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm trying to get this cadet in.
No, it's alright. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really thinking straight, and I did totally accidentally join a server that, or a game that already had people in it, so I'll just... Oh, yeah.
Hey, you're free to stay.
That guy was nice. I'd feel kind of bad. Could y'all tell what accent that was? Was that Did he sound American? Did he just sound like he had a strange voice? Or was that an accent? I feel like it could have just been his voice.
You're here.
I
The
am,
galaxy
dude.
awaits your salvation.
You look like my intro to engineering teacher that I had last year. His name was Mr. Hudson. If you would like ask him just about if he did, he was a veteran for a while, and if you ask him if he did like just about anything, he'll say yes. So you say like,
Allied destroyer coordinates received.
didn't mean to do that.
Mission coordinates locked.
It's the second time I did that.
Hellpods prime.
Okay, my bad. I blame this on you, the viewer. Because I am just talking while I'm doing this, and then I kind of forget. But, Hudson was a good teacher. He did admit that he was the guy who captured Saddam Hussein. He admitted that Hitler didn't kill himself, he shot Hitler. He was the guy who killed Hitler. And, he also fought, in the Civil War on the side of the Confederacy. Before you ask, he's African American.
Mission coordinates locked.
There we go.
Hellpods primed. Engaging orbital thrusters.
Okay. Alright, back to the notes on my phone. Second.
Orbit synchronized.
This. Wait, no. Yeah, okay. Autocannon? Okay. So,
Launch initiated.
states would have their own militaries. These militaries would be required to send troops to fight in wars that the federal government is fighting as well. They would be treated just as the army would in like tactically, but I'm sure certain tacticians would use them differently, just as the Marines and the army would be used in two different theaters and multiple war games for World War III, depending on what you define as World War III, what you think would happen in that scenario. The Marines usually go to the Pacific, the Army usually goes to Europe, if there even is a European theater. But they would be required to fight in federal wars, as well as state conscription laws being either non-existent or very limited. States would be able to kind of build their own warrior culture. Honestly, I do think this would be a good thing for society, because I really don't think a really good quality of life is a good thing for a nation, because it's good time, like, I forgot the phrase, good lord, it's too early in the morning for this.
Something here.
Bad times make good people make good times, good times make bad people make bad times. It's something like that. I know it's not that word for word. Trust me. But, so I think to perpetuate a society, you need to make it have certain bumps in it, so that people can't be too comfortable to become champagne communists. And like, you know what I'm talking about. You the viewer, you know what I'm talking about. Come on. No? Okay. Well, but I think mandatory conscription is just a net positive for societies. I mean, look at South Korea and Switzerland. Well, more Switzerland than South Korea. Honestly, I feel like Switzerland benefits from it more than South Korea does. But like, especially because they get to keep their service weapons, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I guess they don't in America in all branches, because I know they gave my granddad his service rifle after he left, but I'm not sure why. I forget. Maybe he stole it from his armory. That sounds right. He probably did. But I have a few people in my family who were in the military, but they never ended up keeping their service rifles, so we really don't think that's an American thing. States would allow if you fight in your state military, they would probably, it would be fine if the state military had different rules for certain things than the federal military has.
Objective critical stratagem available.
I shouldn't have chosen the bot. I love bots, but like I can't talk while fighting in one of these.
Objective critical stratagem no longer available.
Clanker. Dirty clanker. Good pushing clanker. God damn it. I'm never gonna live that down. I seriously just died to a Commissar.
Reinforcements.
And I didn't even land on the factory. Okay.
Joining the fray.
There we go. Are they affected by their own explosives? I don't think so. I actually haven't seen that happen. I swear they do that, right?
Objective critical stratagem available.
Can I? Ow. Oh, I could have totally used these. Oh, here's where I really get into the details, though. Second. I just found the part of my notes that are weird. So, I do think mandatory conscriptions for state militaries would be a good thing, but states would only be able to draft young men between 24 to 26 for a maximum requirement of 4 years. A few reasons to draft would be to make the population of a state healthier and more disciplined, to reduce crime or increase lifespans. Honestly, I do think military discipline is just a good thing for people to have, and it would really greatly affect the workforce of a state, as they would be militant. Or it would also be to respond to disaster. A huge thing with Helene is the government didn't help at all, and a military presence during Hurricane Helene, a hurricane which affected a lot of my family. I would say like more than 70% of my family ended up being at least kind of affected by the Helene hurricane. The storms, I guess, brought upon by Helene. I really suck at this game, don't I? But, and also, given the right circumstances, they would have constitutional protection to engage the federal government, state militaries, just in case, you know, like upon a constitutional discrepancy or an election that like didn't go quite right, upon allegation, not allegations. There would have to be really good proof in order to legally fight the federal government. But when that proof did arise, it would be completely legal. But obviously the feds can fight back. It's not like they can't. So really the legalization for this is kind of useless, but it would provide a good, I guess, a good platform to stand on, as the state would probably be getting other states to join the cause, right? But so that's that for the states. And I actually never my bro wrote on this. Holy butt. Okay. 1 second. I've already been swearing in this video. I know I can.
Clear the area.
Thought that was a bush. I really thought that was a bush. But so with how much power The states are given even more space is made for tyrants to oppress the people with legal loopholes and military power that is now given to the states. I'm sure a lot of you fellow open-minded libertarians have already thought of the same thing. I stand here as your I'm kidding. So, I know I really don't. You don't need a teenager talking for you. I'm just doing this for fun. Alright.
Extraction shuttle inbound.
But, I'll just kind of run around and talk. So, let's see. As a result, my second proposition is to extend the Second Amendment, legalize militias, and recognize autonomous communities within states. So, alright, 1 second. And when I'm thinking autonomous communities, I'm thinking like things like Waco. Honestly, I don't agree with the Branch Davidians. I don't think they were crazy people, but they weren't hurting anyone. I think they should have had legal governmental protection and representation just as a body within the Texas government. They would have no federal representation. They would only have representation within their state senate or their state legislature, whatever that ends up being, right? I don't know. So, 40 seconds. So, the people would be given the ability to own the same weapons as the military, short of weapons of mass destruction, no recreational nukes. There's no justifying that. Why would, we can't do that. That's not... I don't know why that would be a good idea, at all, ever, for any society. But, so meaning that they could, in theory, come together with all the right training and weapons and form a militia that could outperform government forces, just hypothetically, they could be better than the government. But this would give even more empowerment to the people. It would mean that the people do genuinely have a voice to be feared. To quote Thomas Jefferson, a government that the people fear is tyranny. A government that fears the people is liberty, is true liberty. So if you have a heavily militant people where, say, at least 13 states have mandatory conscription, a lot of people own military firearms. Artillery is pretty commonplace among militias. Fighter jets are common among state militaries. They could totally outperform the United States government in a war. This would mean the government would have reason to listen to the people, and we would have the Epstein files. No, we wouldn't, because powerful people are at the head of everything, and we're only getting those files once everyone in them is dead. I never thought that they would be released, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not just saying that to sound smart. I just feel like because there were too many rich and powerful people that had stuff to do with Epstein, especially in a democracy, I feel like in a dictatorship they would be okay with releasing it. But because we live in a democracy, people can't let that out. So they're not gonna. You have elected officials that were elected into a position, and they have to be elected again. But they're releasing the Epstein files, so they're definitely not getting elected again, So, anyway, wow, I got off topic fast. This one.
Mission coordinates locked. Hellpods prime. Engaging
I'll get to militias in a second. I just want to get down.
Orbit
Strafe,
synchronized.
grenades, jump back. I didn't use the autocannon last time. Probably a precision strike would work. Maybe this. No, not that. There we go. Okay. But militias would gain legal protections to allow them to perform as police or National Guard when with the right pretenses. So, let's say you have a like a small community in the corner of a county. It's kind of in the middle of a rural area. A lot of people own guns, and it's the kind of county where there's a pretty wealthy neighborhood closer to the center based around a body of water. I swear I'm not projecting. Parentheses, I am projecting. This is exactly what my community is like. And the county government gives all their money to this neighborhood, and there's not really, and the police force is very far away from the rural areas that need them the most. So these areas would be able to put together a militia to basically act as a posse or a people's, not really, I'm not going to use the word people's, communists destroyed that word, but just like they did everything. But anyway. 1 second. Okay. I mean, these militias could also serve as like a scarier Meals on Wheels. And why that would be necessary is there are terrible people who like to steal things. They're called criminals, and if they see someone with a lot of resources that can be resold and that aren't armed, they'll probably go after this. I'm not just saying this. This is a thing that happens in my community a lot. I know someone at my church personally, and actually a few people who have been harassed as Meals on Wheels drivers for Meals on Wheels, and have had like their money taken from them, but also all their food taken. So that's just not good, right? So militias that would fill this purpose would do really good at what I think do really good in most scenarios, but they would have to they would require recognition from their county via like a plurality vote. So after they get put together in order to have the legal protections as, you know, sort of a police force, they would first need to have like they would need to see their county, their like council. So yeah, they would have to first like see their council, and please don't send up a flare. You already did, didn't you? Wow, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Please hit them. Thank you. Give me a second. Just, I'll get back to talking about what I was talking about. I just need a second to deal with these clankers. You heard me. I said the C word. Can't say that. That's our word. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Dude, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's gonna be like 2045. My daughter's gonna bring home her clanker boyfriend, and I might just flatline. I might just flatline. I might die. But, alright. Dude. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay. Ion wanna. There. Okay. But, so a vote would either need to be held, organized by their community council, or they would need they would need recognition from the district representative. So, the representative would override, honestly, or a senator or a governor, or a commonwealth or someone in their commonwealth if said state has a commonwealth, right? But okay, 1 second. This would be a job to have. But if they were given recognition by a representative, as soon as that representative leaves office, they only have a year to function before a vote is held within their constituency to decide whether or not they remain a legally protected group. But with recognition from their community council, this vote would still be held annually. But when the date would be obviously decided by the local government. Requisition slips, okay. Do I want to leave? I'll just leave. My bro wrote itchy butthole at the very bottom of this, and it's like getting on my nerves every single time I read it. He just texted me, said Helldivers light. Like, what are you talking about? Okay. But, anyway. So I do think there would be many communities across the United States that would benefit greatly from further autonomy than what they have with local laws, militias, police forces to allow for greater individual freedoms or just quality of life at expense of freedoms. So I mean like gated communities who are very, very pretentious and don't want people exercising their freedom in their streets. So these would probably have the greatest constitutional powers of any government, as they would be able to put restrictions on the Second Amendment and its use. But obviously, this could be challenged by other local governments in the area. If you have any questions about that, about what I've been talking about, just say it tell me in the comments or something. I'll probably link this in Mr. C's Discord, or the United States of Z.
ETA, T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Actually, I don't know what the US and US of Z stands for. I was never told. It's probably that, but it might not be. I could be lying to you.
Democracy's on its way.
I know. There we go. I love that. It's so useful.
ETA, T-minus
Where are
1
they?
minute.
I see the red dots. But yeah, so get me to 50 subscribers so I can stream.
Replacement.
So how did that even happen?
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
If y'all want to see me stream, subscribe. Once I get to 55 subscribers, none of y'all need to subscribe. I don't want monetization. I just want to be able to stream and see how many viewers me and my friends would get on this channel. It's just a thingy. It's just something to do. I've been bored out of my mind recently. Okay.
ETA, T-minus 20 seconds.
But, I need to charge my phone. Alright. So, yeah.
ETA, T-minus 10
Share this video, honestly. If you know someone who would like this kind of content, share it to them. If it's too boring, then never come back here ever again, because this is what I'm going to be doing. And I have a few videos if you like content that you can just watch, like just Helldivers gameplay without any voice over it, or without a voiceover, or like me just messing around in Helldivers, doing missions. Kind of, I guess you could argue I'm archiving certain missions, or MOs. But so the rest of my content right now is just Helldivers gameplay. But if you want more of this, then come back, because I'm not going to stop doing this. I have no medium to voice my opinions on things, so y'all are going to have to listen. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Have a good day. What should you do today? You should Clean your bed sheets. I've seen them. They're gross. Clean them right now. Come on. Come on. Yeah. All right. Get it done. I'll see you when they're done.